love Ralston's big adventure. All right, so Lonnie just dropped me and Sunshine off at Stecoah Gap, and we are headed to the Fontana Hilton, which is the Fontana Dam shelter. It is one of the biggest shelters on the AT. I think it holds like 20 to 25 people. I think it has like a bathhouse with showers and like actual toilets. So that's why they call it the Fontana Hilton instead of the Fontana shelter. But we're getting kind of a late start, and we're getting a further back start than a lot of people. So we're kind of afraid that the shelters are going to be full. But Damien, like I said yesterday, is taking the easy way out and going to a closer gap to do a 7-mile hike into Fontana. And he owes me one because I let him have the bed the other night at Chicago Mike's. So he's gonna save me a spot for when I get there, which is very nice of him. But again, he owes me one. Let's see. It is right now 8:04 on Saturday, May 7th. And we've got a hopefully not very long 15-mile hike to Fontana. I'm already tired. Okay. I'll give you updates as I go. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Yesterday, at Stecoah Gap, I hit the 150-mile mark. So 150 miles in. I mean, most people celebrate their 100-mile markers, but you know, every victory is so important to me because huge morale boosters, every one of them, especially at times when you just are not really feeling great. Yesterday was one of those days, just kind of, I don't know, I just was not in a great mood. I think I was tired and it was raining and my phone's kind of been acting up. So yeah, yesterday was just kind of a lot. But, you know, every day's a new day, and that's just kind of how you have to look at it. And, you know, there's always a problem to be solved. It will always get solved one way or the other. So, yeah. But 150 miles. Big day. Whew. This is a steep, stinking climb. I mean, this is like straight up. It probably doesn't look like it, but I mean, it is, straight up, straight down. Like, that's what I'm looking at like level, and that's like how much further down I have to go with the camera to just show you how steep this is. It's freaking ridiculous. But again, trail makers, switchbacks have been around for a long time. Learn how to make them. All right. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this is how the weather's supposed to be all day long. Just light and drizzly. Nothing like yesterday, no storms, no hail, no nothing like that. But yeah, just light and drizzly all day till we get to Fontana. Days like this are kind of nice because they're not as hot, but there's just nothing to look at, nothing to see, and it's just kind of dreary. But that's part of it. That's part of hiking the AT, is that you have days like this, and you have days like the other day when it was super clear and you could see everything. So just is what it is. But yeah, it definitely makes the walks a little bit less enjoyable, but you know, again, part of it. So normally, this is probably a really pretty view. Sorry, let me adjust my hands. Today is just absolutely nothing because of the rain and the clouds. You can kind of get some little view down there. But right through there, in that direction somewhere, is the Smokies. So we should be able to see the Smokies pretty good on a clear day. But I mean, I'm literally 11 miles from the beginning of the park, so it's getting closer. But yeah, that's normally probably what you'd see through there. Like this right here. You can't tell me that you couldn't have brought something up here to bust that out of the way. Like, this is ridiculous. All right, I made it to Yellow Stair Gap. This is where Damien got dropped off this morning with that other guy. And then from here, I think it's about 7 miles this way into Fontana. All right, so I made it to, I think this is Cable Gap Shelter. Stopped here for lunch. Ran into Sunshine. That's all his stuff. I think he's in the privy. But yeah, just hanging out here. Gonna eat a a tuna burrito for lunch today. I already had a Snickers bar, and then I've got a Slim Jim that I'm gonna eat with that. So pretty excited about that. 'Cause I'm starving. It's about 11:52, so good 4 hours of hiking today. I've already come 9 miles. I've got about 6 left to go. So hope to be over there by around 3 o'clock over to Fontana Village. But yeah, hiking in the rain's terrible. I mean, there are some pros. It's cool. You can also conserve a lot of water, but it's slick. And every time I get on rocks, I freak out because I'm like, I'm about to just bust my tail and have to be airlifted out of here. But yeah, hiking in the rain is not fun. So there's my lemon pepper tuna. Here's my tuna burrito. It's actually not too bad. All right, so just got done with lunch at the shelter, and as I was leaving, ran into Songbird, Slaps, and 2 other new hikers that I haven't met yet, Wisco and TC, which I think stood for Top Cat. Anyway, but yeah, it's just, they are going to Fontana tonight, so there's gonna be a ton of people there, which will be a lot of fun. Sorry, this is a huge uphill before the major descent into Fontana, but it's about 6 miles into Fontana Dam, which, 6 miles like 2 months ago was gonna be a lot. 6 miles is nothing. 6 miles is like a walk in the park at this point. So it's looking like I'll probably be there around 3-ish. So that's good. But yeah, I don't know. It always lifts your spirits to just run into people on the trail and, to share stories and honestly to just sharing our suffering, because nobody's liking this rain right now. But I'm gonna get to the top of this hill and then work my way down. So check out this limb, just hanging by a couple branches up top. It's a sketch. One thing that I've actually come to really enjoy about hiking with these section hikers, or these, older kind of retired people who are through hiking, is their pace. And just their appreciation for being out here. Everybody my age is so rushed to get to Katahdin. Everybody's just like, well, I have to average this with, this many 0 days, built in. And, they just try to schedule and plan. But these older hikers are just like, yeah, we'll get there. If we have to flip-flop, we'll flip-flop. Flip-flopping is also hiking halfway, then going to the other end and hiking back the other half. So that way you don't run into the extreme cold in the northeast. But they're just so much more laid back and happy to be here than people around my age. I mean, that's not true for everybody, but I've just found that most people my age are much more on a time crunch and wanting to rush. And they're just not, and it's great. And I wish I was more like that. All right, so I've run into a bunch of hikers now, and they all kind of generally are saying the same thing. I'm just like, oh, we're staying, at this shelter tonight, or we're staying at that hostel, or whatever. And I'm afraid that I have finally caught up to the end of the bubble. Now, let me explain what the bubble is. Sorry, I'm also having to be super careful because I'm going down this muddy, nasty trail. So, the bubble is what they call the group of through hikers that start March 1st and end probably first or second week of April. That's when thousands descend upon the trail. And so I was just after the bubble, so I started pretty late. There were still quite a bit of hikers, but not nearly as many as there would have been had I started during that bubble period. But, you know, I'm getting to the point where it's like the shelters are full everywhere we go. Like, there's hardly any tent space depending on the size of the shelter area. So that's kind of unfortunate, because it does mean you have to kind of pick up your pace a little bit so you can get to a shelter and get a spot before someone else takes it. But I'm gonna try not to worry about it too much, especially not at Fontana, since it's huge. But yeah, so just in case you were wondering about like the influx of hikers, that's what I'm catching up to, is the bubble. All right, if anyone's curious about what it's like going down into Fontana, northbound on the AT, it's just a bunch of steps and some cool boulders. Anyway, just imagine yourself just going down 2,000 feet of stairs over the course of like 3 miles. That's all this has been. I'm telling you, knees are done. All right, finally made it to Fontana Marina. It's about a mile to the shelter, but I've heard that the marina has food and drinks, so I'm gonna stop in here and get something real quick. So Tangled, Slabs, Wilco, and Stunts decided to all get in a canoe together. All right, so we just spent like probably 3 hours just chilling at this marina. They have like a whole store with like a bunch of resupply stuff and food and all kinds of just random stuff. Oh, they have like outlets and Wi-Fi, and so we were just all hanging out and enjoying each other's company and charging our phones and stuff. But we have a 1 mile hike just kind of around this little part of the lake real quick before we get to the shelter. I am so cold. It's like 40 something degrees right now. And the shelter has like showers. It's like got like a bathhouse. So I'm so excited to get in the shower, warm up, get in the shelter, make some dinner, get in my sleeping bag, hang out, and be warm. We also start the Smokies tomorrow. So we're pumped. And it's gonna be like sunny and 80, which I don't know if I'm excited about or not, but everything else other than the 80-degree weather is gonna be awesome. All right, so it is a lot farther to this shelter than I thought. It was like 1 point whatever miles. But like I said yesterday, the last mile will always get you. It's always longer than you think it is. So yeah, I thought that it was just like a hop, skip, and a jump from the marina. No sir, it is a lot longer. All right, we have arrived at the Fontana Hilton, otherwise known as the Fontana Shelter. All right, so I'm here at Fontana Lake, and right across the lake there are the Smoky Mountains, which I will be starting tomorrow with Damien. We're doing 15 miles in for our first day. We are excited about it. This is another big milestone in the Appalachian Trail process. Technically, also, this is part of the trail. Since I don't know why they made this part of the trail instead of making an actual trail, but not mad about it. But this is the trail. See, there's a white blaze right there on the water spigot, so you know that you're going the right way. But yeah. Oh, I'm also walking to the dam because my parents are here. My mom's gonna walk across the dam with me tomorrow for Mother's Day, and so I'm gonna go ahead and road walk and flag pack to the dam. That way tomorrow my dad can just drop me off at the dam, walk across, go in the Smokies, and I will not have to feel like I have missed like 200 yards of the trail. So that's why I'm doing that. All right, so I promise I will be camping more frequently than I have been the last couple nights. But my parents kind of surprised me and came up for the night, so I was like, well, do I stay in a shelter with a million people, or do I go and hang out in the hotel room and sleep in a bed? No brainer. Chose the bed. But yeah, tomorrow we start the Smokies, like I've been saying. Kind of excited to have a rest day because it's a pretty steep climb. It's about a 3,000 foot climb into the Smokies, and then you just kind of ride the ridge along the way. But it's a 3,000 foot climb to start the adventure in the Smokies, which is going to be just kind of tough. But yeah, just enjoying the night and about to get some sleep. But yeah, shelter, yeah, it was getting full and wild and not for me tonight. But yeah, I think that's all the updates I have. But anyway, as always, thanks for following along. Maverick out. Hey y'all, this is Ralston here. I'm hiking the AT not only just for the adventure and the thrill and the fun of hiking the AT, but I'm also hiking for Isaiah 117 House, which is an organization dedicated to helping foster kids at the point of time that they are taken out of their house by the Department of Childhood Services. They have a great place set up for them to be able to go and where they're loved and cared for. And so if you have time today and want to make a donation, visit the link below and it will take you to the donation page. Thank you so much for following along, and thank you so much for supporting Isaiah 117. See you on the trail.